Hey, what's going on? So I wanted to go ahead and jump straight into answering the question for today, which is once I'm in the friend zone, how do I get out of the friend zone? That is probably the most common question I get from guys. Everyone's got a different variation of this question, a specific girl, a specific scenario, and almost every single one of them has the exact same problem. So I'm going to go into what got you in there briefly, and then I'm going to go into, more importantly, how to get out of it once you are in, which can be complicated if you don't know exactly what to do. So first, the reason why you're in the friend zone. Well, there are two major reasons why guys fall into the friend zone. Usually these are working in conjunction with each other, so you're doing both of these things. The first one is not touching enough. Now the reason why that is the case is because the friend zone is basically a massive amount of rapport built with a woman, trust, comfort, but not any sexuality. Well, sexuality is a direct physical connection with one person. So in order to build that sort of sexuality, you have to break the touch barrier early on, and you have to continue to escalate the touch barrier as time goes on. So basically what that means is that when you first meet a woman, if you aren't touching her within the first 3 to 5 seconds on her shoulder or on her hand, just briefly, just for maybe 2 to 3 seconds, you keep your hand on, or maybe even less, and then take your hand off again as you're touching. If you're not doing that constantly, as in at least once a minute when you're talking, then you are probably headed toward the friend zone. And so what she's doing is she's building all this curiosity around you. She's interested. She's like I said, she's curious. She's intrigued by you in the beginning, but she's not getting any physical touch. And so that intrigue is not attached to anything. It's just there. When she sees you, it triggers it. So we have something called anchors, emotional anchors. And these emotional anchors are basically different things that we associate with different emotions. And if you can touch a woman while you're talking to her, then you will anchor the concept of comfort, of trust, and of connection to, and even intrigue, to your touch. So that means that every time you touch her, she'll feel that same feeling again. And if you don't do it when you first meet a woman, then it won't happen at all. You'll have to sort of reframe it all over again. So the first one is not touching enough. I'd probably say on average, if I walk into a room of guys, I would say that about 95% to 98% of them don't touch enough. And usually they all could touch around 300% more, meaning the amount of times that they touch, it could be 3 times the amount of times that they touch, and it would still be fine. In fact, it would probably be a lot better for them. So I would say increase the amount of times that you touch a woman by about 300% or 3 times. So if you're touching a woman, and you probably haven't thought about this very much, but if you're touching a woman maybe not at all night, then you want to at least touch her 3 times when you're talking to her. If you are touching a woman maybe once every 30 minutes, just casually, and I mean like, as you might touch a dude, like a friend of yours, it's like, on the shoulder, or, you might go, for example, you might have a sentence that says, you might say, well, what do you think about this? And you might stick your hand out and touch their arm for a second, like, what do you think about this? And it's a normal, totally normal touch. You're not looking at your hand when you do it. You're not coming straight out like this and like reaching way over. It's very casual. It's completely normal sort of hand gestures and hand movements, except you're making contact. So you want to definitely do that. Touch about 3 times more than you currently are. And the other one is, the other reason why guys fall into the friend zone is because they skip the stage of attraction altogether. This is like walking up to a girl in a bar and saying, "Do you come here often?" So that is sort of a fake rapport. That's like the idea that you're trying to build this connection with her way too early. And women don't give a shit. When they first meet you, they don't care where you're from, even really what your name is, what you're interested in. They don't care about any of that stuff. What they want to know is, are you worth talking to, or is this going to be a conversation where they're going to feel like they need to ask their friend to come over and save them, or they have to go to the bathroom and sneak away or something. So what you have to do in the beginning is build that intrigue, build that curiosity, which is what attraction truly is. And you want to make sure that that curiosity is there and is very apparent to them whenever you're first talking to them. If you skip that and you try to get into really like deep conversation early on, what you're doing is you don't have that ramp up of attraction that sort of peaks off with rapport. So attraction is kind of like this. It ramps up very quickly if you know how to do it. It's curiosity. And then it drops sharply if you don't build rapport afterwards. So what you want to do is you want to ramp up attraction by building banter, by using negative body language properly, by touching properly, things like this. And there are a lot of other things, obviously, that you can do that I go over in depth in my book. And you want to ramp up the attraction as high as you can possibly get it, and then right at the peak, you want to cap it off and build rapport. Because when you start building rapport, the attraction dies off. So if you put a little bit of attraction and then you go straight into rapport, you're only going to have that much attraction over time. You can't build more attraction very easily. So what you want to do is you want to stay in the space of being lighthearted and fun, being sort of like a fun sort of boy part of your personality. And you want to stay in that space until you get the proper signals that you've studied and you know about that will show you that it's time for you to build rapport. So skipping the state of attraction and not touching enough are the two major reasons why guys fall into the friend zone. If you are in the friend zone, if you ever have been in the friend zone, you probably did one of those two things. It's about 95% of the guys that I know of fall into the friend zone because of that. And there are about 5% that have some other crazy ass circumstance that is nuts, like it's an extremely religious situation, or one of a couple other things. So now to the real question: how do you get out of it? Well, there's only a few ways to truly get out of the friend zone, but what you have to do is make use of what attracts women in the first place, and you have to make the woman that you're attracted to, that you're currently in the friend zone with, you have to make her reconsider that maybe you're not the nice guy and maybe you do have more to you. So one way to do this is to use the concept of value, and let me explain what that means. So women are typically attracted to men that other women are attracted to already. Now, if you can show a woman that other women are attracted to you, then you can get any woman you want to be attracted to you, which is really what most of my system teaches. It teaches how to show women that other women are attracted to you without saying that, because if you say that out loud, a lot of women don't believe it because you can lie. So a lot of the body language stuff that I've modeled, a lot of the touch stuff that I've modeled, a lot of the framing, the psychological space, things like this, it's all framed from a space of a guy who believes that other women are attracted to him, who believes that most women are attracted to him, and that's normal for him. So what you want to do is you have to show this woman that you are already, you believe that women are attracted to you. And what better way to do that than to actually show her that women are, in fact, attracted to you. So what I would do, if I were you, is, and you may have to practice this a little bit because this is a patient man's game. I mean, it took you a long time to screw this up, so you need to take your time to get out of it. And anything that you do that is not what you're currently doing will increase your chances with this woman. So any deviation from your current plan that you have in place will increase your chances. So you have nothing to lose here. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're never going to be anything more than just friends with her anyway. And if you try to go to some extreme and be like, well, you need to date me or you need to leave, then you're going to freak her out and she's going to leave anyway. So anything that you do that is following this model will increase your chances. So here's what I would suggest that you do. Try this. Instead of asking, if you already asked her out on a date a couple times, don't ever do that again. You're not going to be going on dates with girls. You're going to be meeting up with them. This is a very big difference. Instead of saying, hey, would you like to go out to dinner with me sometime, or you want to go grab a drink sometime, or whatever, you want to go to a movie, or all these different things that we've had imprinted into our head, like leave it to beaver thoughts and concepts, you need to erase because they don't work. They're bad. They've never worked, in fact, and the only time that women have ever sort of fallen for them in the first place is because that's all that guys were doing at the time and they didn't have any choice. So you never want to do that. You want to stand out. You want to be the upper echelon of men. You want to be the top 2%. So here's what I say, and what I teach to say. I suggest that you say, I'm going to be at this place at this time, most likely. Meet up with me if you want to. Just go out there and meet me there if you want to. So this is saying I'm going to be somewhere already. I'm not asking you to meet me there or to come with me there, which presupposes a lot of stuff. It presupposes that you're going to pay for everything, that you're going to pay attention to only her, that there's probably going to be more of these things, and that you want something from her that you don't believe you can get just by spending time with her and hanging out with her. So it presupposes a lot of really negative stuff that you don't want to frame the relationship with. If you've already done that, no big deal. Just you want to meet her out in a social environment. That's the most important thing. So you want to meet her out, and you want to also invite other people out. Invite a couple of your friends, but more importantly, invite any female friend that you have that is not, sexually interested in you in any kind of way, that is just a friend of yours, particularly if you have any attractive female friends, invite them all out at the same time to the same place that you invited this girl to. Now this is crucial. You're not going to be flirting with these other girls or anything, but they are already going to know you, and they're going to be having conversation with you and interacting with you in sort of a regular kind of way. So what will happen is women typically will look at this and they'll see other women interacting with you and taking up your attention, and all of a sudden they want that attention. They want to get more of that. And so you're going to spread out when you meet up with her and with the rest of your friends, you're going to spread your attention out equally over everyone. Meaning that, this is a major mistake that a lot of guys make. They'll get it in a group of girls or girls and guys, and they'll start only talking to the girl that they're attracted to, and they'll ignore everybody else. This is a major problem, because now everyone else in the group has to step in, and because they all feel rejected, so they try to step in and try to ruin everything for you. So what you want to do is you want to give equal eye contact as you're talking to the different people in the group. So you might be having a conversation over here, and then you look around and you just invite everyone into the conversation as you're talking. And you do that by looking at people in the eyes as you're having a conversation. I teach this a lot in my actual live courses, how to look at different people in the eyes as you're speaking and sort of command space in a room. So try to go to a place where there's a lot of activity, maybe a bar if you want to do something at nighttime, or if it's during the daytime, some place that you can go out, like wherever you like, a park or something that would be fun that's open. Even like a bowling is fine. Anything that you can do to get everybody in a social environment where the main focus is to hang out and talk. So you get everyone there at the same time, and you give this girl the exact same amount of attention as you give everyone else. Now what this will do is it'll make her start to think that the special attention she thought you were giving her is actually what you give everyone. So this reframes everything for her now. Now she feels that she doesn't have you sort of by the balls, so to speak, not in a good way. She'll feel like she just, you treat her the same as you treat everybody else, and if she wants to get extra attention from you, she's going to have to do something extra in order to get that extra attention, like show attraction or flirt, just like obviously flirt with you, things like that. So you're going to start to get this framework and build up this new sort of thought process, this new framing for this interaction. Once you've got that in place, what you want to do is you want to start being playful with her. You sort of hit the reset button when you do that. You want to start being extra playful with her, flirting, not going in a really deep conversation. You're sort of starting over from scratch at this point, but you've sort of allowed yourself to clear the slate and then start over with nothing impeding this process. So you're going to then continue, and you're going to flirt, shamelessly flirt. You're going to be turning your back to her a lot, giving a lot of negative body language, smiling still. If you haven't seen my attraction step-by-step attraction flow chart, then definitely see that. It's called my attraction blueprint. Definitely check that out. I've had a link to that. I'll add a link below this video for that attraction blueprint flow chart. If you haven't gotten that, study it and look at it. You'll see sort of exactly what to do if a woman faces you a certain way or says a certain thing to you, exactly what to do back in order to get her attracted to you. So stay in that stage of attraction for a while and really get it built up so that she's shamelessly laughing and flirting and touching you a lot back and really getting this going. You also obviously want to make sure that you're touching often when you do this. Touch all the women, and if you have any friends over that are guys, touch them in the exact same way that you are touching these women while you're having the conversation with them. So when you first meet up with everybody, make sure that she sees you touching everyone the same way, and then touch her the same. And as you do this, she'll feel the social connection that everyone is sort of there on the same level with you. And this will, again, help her reframe all of this. Right now, she thinks that no matter what happens, you're going to be there. And that's the problem. You don't want that to be the case. Not until later on in a relationship do you want that to be the case. And so many guys jump straight into that stage and they just give a woman what they think she wants. And the problem is that we don't know what women want often. So what we do is we try to give them what we think they want, and we look back on past relationships to figure that out. And we take things that aren't accurate. We take things that we've had in relationships after we dated someone for 20 months or like 2 years, or 3 years or even like 6 months, and we take those things, we try to apply those to, making women happy. But that's not how it works. You work progressively over time to get to that place, and you go through several different stages of an interaction as you talk to a woman and interact. And if you don't follow those stages piece by piece and follow the system to a T, then you will screw it all up and you'll fall into things like the friend zone again. So you don't want to do that. So what you're going to do is flirt a lot, be very lighthearted, be very childlike, very fun and playful. And then once you flip that switch and you can tell 100% that she's attracted to you now, you have that attraction, then go into rapport. Just with her one-on-one. And you can split, you can leave or sort of turn away from the rest of your friends and have a conversation with her while they're talking, whatever. Or you can go to a new spot and just talk to her in a new space. And that should pretty much do it. From then on out, you build the rapport, you keep touching during the rapport, and then in a couple of days you'll get a video teaching you about seduction. You can use some of the things I talk about in that video as well to get things sexual. And that's how you get out of the friend zone. There are very few ways to actually get out of the friend zone to really make it work. But the most common and the best way to do it, I found, is to show her that other women are attracted to you. You can also meet her out in a social environment, and if you're brave enough to do this, which was my favorite thing to do, would be to go out in a social environment without inviting anybody out, and just invite her and then meet a group of people before she gets there and join their group. Just start talking and laughing and having fun and join their group. And then when she gets there, just go, hey, and invite her in, introduce her to everybody, and then tell her that you just met everybody. Now what this does is it sort of shows her that there's a side of you that she didn't see before, that she didn't know was there. And it's a very intriguing part of a man that can walk into a room of people that he doesn't know and make friends with people and join their group. It's a very attractive quality in a man. If you don't know how to do that yet, I will have in the future a course on social circle mastery, how to do this, how to walk into a bar or into a club or into a coffee shop or down the street or into a party, whatever, or a group, walk up to a group of people that are standing on the street and join their group. I've done this countless times, and when you do this, you open up a whole world of psychology that essentially works in your favor and helps you attract lots of women at once, which is nice, Then you get your choice, or you can choose to date multiple of them. It's up to you. So ultimately, though, it took you a while to get into the friend zone. It's going to take you a little bit to get out. It's going to take a little bit of work. If you don't have a lot of women in your life currently, where you can call up a few of your friends that are women and say, "Hey, what are you doing Friday? Let's all hang out. I'm going to call up a couple other people. Let's hang out at this place," and just go meet up with them. If you don't have those women, then you can go into a place you've never been to before, and you can meet people there. Also, very powerful. Another very powerful thing to do. If you don't even have the ability to do that yet, then you can walk into wherever you're going to meet her early and ask the bartender their name. The bartender, any other wait staff or help, ask them their names and remember their names. And as soon as she gets there, introduce her to the people working there. Now, what she'll feel is she'll feel like, well, how do you know those people? She'll feel like you know all the bartenders, that you know all the connections, you have all the connections, and it'll reframe this interaction. And, again, as I said before, you're not going on a date with this girl. You're just meeting her somewhere. You're going to be there already anyway. And if you know people there, then it's more believable that you're going to go there already. If you don't know anybody there, then it's less believable. So you're going to make sure that you meet the guys and meet people that are working there and sort of strike up a friendly conversation. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Tip well. That's another really good way to get the bartender on your side, or the person at the coffee shop. Just kind of laugh and talk to them a little bit, and you don't want anything from them. All you want is to have a normal conversation and to get their name. And then you want to introduce her to them whenever you get there, or whenever she gets there, rather. And that is usually enough to do it. So you want to basically cut through what she thinks you are already and create a new part of you that she hasn't seen yet. That's it for this lesson. That's the best way to get out of the friend zone. Go out and try it. It works. I know you're going to be blown away if you do. If it does work, go ahead and comment below and let me know what you think about it. And stay tuned for tomorrow's lesson. I'm going to give you another video that teaches you how to attract women at your workplace. So take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.